Today, let's talk about the Sig Sauer MPX. This is a cool little pistol. That's right, it's a pistol. Our buddies at the ATF have decided that this thing, it's not a stock, that's called a brace. If you're disabled or have issues holding a gun, you can wrap this brace around your forearm and use this pistol with a brace. Fortunately, the ATF has also said that it's perfectly fine to shoulder these. So, it's considered a pistol. Let's talk a bit about this. First off, what it is, other than a pistol in weird ATF classifications. This is a 9mm pistol, and it's very similar to an AR-15 in terms of ergonomics and controls. So if you have an AR-15, you're going to be very familiar with safety, magazine release, magazine release and bolt release. The difference is going to be in the recoil system. This is not a gas blowback system like you're used to. It's a piston system, and it's got a dual recoil spring running up here on the top side of this upper receiver. The lower receiver is essentially, it's an AR-15 receiver. The upper is specific to this firearm. So there is no buffer tube like you would find in a typical AR-15. All of that functionality is up top here, up top on the upper receiver, riding on top of the bolt and bolt carrier. So one of the cool things about this, it's fully ambidextrous. Check this out. You've got your mag release right there, as well as your bolt release. And then when you flip it around, same thing. You've got mag release and bolt release. And the good thing about it is where they're located, you can operate both of them without moving your hand. And since I'm right-handed, I can still do everything with either of my hands. If you were left-handed, you would be able to do the same thing. So that is kind of nice. It is really cool. You don't see that a lot on AR-15s, and it's nice to have on this. So this specifically is a 4.5-inch barrel. It's known as the K version, so MPX K. This is a threaded, I guess it's a flash hider, and Sig does their special thread pitch, so you have to use their proprietary stuff. I do have a tri-lug adapter, so I can take this off, put the tri-lug adapter on there, and when I get around to it, I can put a silencer on here without issue. Makes this thing still very compact, and you can have a silencer and it's still very nice. As far as the trigger, this guy came with a Timney trigger, straight from Sig. Fantastic trigger. I really do like this. They do a great, crisp trigger. Very nice, very light. I can show you it real quick here. So, there is absolutely no take-up. Just probably a 4-pound trigger on that. So let's try that one more time. So absolutely no take-up. This thing is solid. Just add some pressure. She goes off, and then the reset. That's it on the reset. And so you can see it one more time. That's it. Very short reset, very nice trigger. They do a great job on this. So this is a cool little pistol, like I said. They come with two different types of braces. This one is the collapsible brace. Press the button here, pull this out, and there's a couple of positions. So you have fully closed, you have a mid position, you have fully open. We'll come back to this in a minute. They also have a side folder. I'm not as big of a fan of this one, but it does make the gun much more compact. So you can just pull it and get it in there. And then in order to close it, you have to lift up and then swing it. But this is just a fixed length, and nice thing, folds up even more compact, just in case you're curious about how compact that is. That's the difference. But back to this collapsible stock. This one I like better. I find it to be a little bit more usable. It's easier to deploy. So you're able to shoulder this and come down. It's not exactly, it's not as good as a regular stock, but you can get a good cheek weld and use your sights. It works well enough, but it's obviously not ideal. If you wanted to go ahead and SBR this, you could buy the pistol, and then I think it's a Form 2, I can't remember, Form 1, Form 2. You can fill out a form and get a stock to put onto this and make it a short-barreled rifle, if you so chose. Personally, I don't see the advantage to doing that, and the disadvantages are, if I remember correctly, I need to notify the ATF when I take this thing out of state if it was a short-barrel rifle. I'd rather just leave it alone. It serves its purpose, and I can do everything else I want to it as is. So, kind of cool, kind of neat. It's a really cool little pistol. I guess the only downside I have for these, it's two things. This thing's expensive. They're $2 grand. And the magazines are 60 bucks a piece. It's a 30-round magazine, but 60 bucks. Just a lot of money. They are nice. I think Lancer makes these, so it's a polymer magazine with metal feed lips, which is good. I like that. No issues. It is a good magazine, but it's just a lot of money. But either way, it's a nice compact pistol. Gives you a lot of what you may be looking for, as long as you're okay with the cost. I haven't had any issue with these. Between the two of them, I've probably got 1,000 rounds through them. I don't have a ton. But they are nice. They do a good job. They're reasonably accurate. I mean, it's, you know, a 4.5-inch barrel shooting 9mm, so you're good up to 100 yards without any real issue. But beyond that, you know, this is not a 223 even, you know, where you can reach out 600 yards more if you're good, but they have a much closer effective range than a rifle caliber. But nice pistols. I do like them. The side folder here, the reason I like this one better, the only thing I like better about this one is that it's smaller, so it easily fits into something like a backpack. You just save a couple of inches off the tail end here. Otherwise, I prefer the sliding stock, the collapsible stock, to this. But, you know, this does the job. It's fine. I do know SB Tactical makes sliding stocks, and they'll bolt right back on. There's a Picatinny rail section right here on the back side of these. So you can just undo this bolt, pop off that brace, and put on a different brace if you wanted, or a stock, whatever it is that you're doing. The only other difference between these two that I'm aware of, this is an M-lock rail, whereas this other one's a little bit older and it's a key mod rail. Rail sections are so short, honestly, it doesn't make a difference. I prefer the M-lock, but honestly, it doesn't matter. Really makes no difference. They both function, they serve their purposes. Anyway, cool little pistols. I do like these. I find them a lot more fun to shoot than the AR-15, just because they're so small. It's kind of fun. They're really good. If you have people who haven't shot a lot before, these little 9mm pistol SBRs, whatever you want to call them, they're fantastic to get new shooters out. So they shoot a pistol caliber round. There's essentially no recoil. They're nowhere near as loud. It's just better all around, a better first time experience. So if you're taking new people out and you want to get them behind an AR-15, one of these would be a great way to get started. Some people are just kind of skittish around the AR-15s, especially with the rifle chambering, or they're afraid of them for whatever reason. I haven't found my non-gun friends to be afraid of these as much as an AR-15, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just a prettier color, you know, honestly I don't know. There's no logic behind it, but just something I found. But like I said, if you have one around and you're trying to get someone used to shooting, take them out behind one of these. It's fantastic. They'll love it. They'll have a blast. Then have them step up to an AR-15 after they get used to this, you know, in 223. Other than that, I haven't had any real issues with these. They've run everything that I've put through them. Whether it's factory ammo, I've put a variety of stuff, and I do reloads, so I put a variety of reloads through these as well. Not had any problems. They work perfectly well. I don't see any use to have something like a magnified optic. Again, if I'm only reaching out to 100 yards, I can do fine with irons, or I like these hollow sights. So something to consider. Beyond that, not much else to say. Cool little pistol. If you get a chance, go try one out. I highly recommend them. I do enjoy them. I mean, hell, you see I've got 2 of them, so obviously I like them. You can build a 9mm AR platform for less, but I like that this is much more compact than that, just by its design. So, you know, to me, kind of pricey, but still worth it. It's not overpriced for what it is, in my opinion. So, that's kind of where I'm at on these. I do like them. Give them a try. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Hope you found that useful. We'll do it again next time.